From Senegal to Sugar Hill, trace the bloodline. 100 years of brilliance through the color line. They thought the shackles broke but kept the mental chain. Langston penned the future while they legislated pain. Harlem's ballrooms birthed the cosmos in mahogany, while lynching trees still decorated southern botany. Josephine, Waker's pearls, and Garvey's Navy ships. Du Bois debating destiny with scholarship on his lips. The Renaissance was a renaissance of West resistance, fam. Every trumpet blast from Armstrong was a battering ram. They gave us minstrel shows, we gave them Sora Neal. Turned depression into art, made the fabricated real. Cotton Club excluded us from tables every set. To form the Deanus Nightly, never free from the deck. But Bessie Smith could shatter glass, shatter cash, shatter lies. Every note she sang contained a revolution in the sky. Build temples from the rubble, make cathedrals from the struggle. Turn the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We build temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from. Fast forward through the decades, watch the pattern reassemble. Malcolm's speeches, Martin's marches, every voice begins to tremble to the earth until the structure shows its fractures. FBI was tracking every coon with every pastor, every actor. 40 acres never came but 40 minutes on a stage. To reconvene your consciousness and channelize the rage. From bebop to hip-hop, the fool lines mathematical. Each generation weaponized the beautiful, the radical. They gave us Reagan out as crack and mass incarceration. We gave them Public Enemy and blueprints for liberation. The Harlem Renaissance never ended, just evolved its form. Every freestyle cipher is a brainstorm, is a storm. Where the children of the talented, the tempted, the was prophesied, inherit the fire that the water couldn't wash aside. They tried to write us out the narrative. We offered all on text, 100 years of proof, and that we're destined. Where was next? Temples from the rubble, made cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from.
All right, this is, and you are under the groove. We are touching bases with the people. This is the Friday. I want to wish everybody a happy Friday. Hopefully everything has been everything for you individuals who see or deem yourselves special. You know, someone that's in the fight. Hopefully, man, you fought this fight well on Friday. Now you're relaxing, take a load off. I want to come in here tonight, man, just chop it up for a little bit, man, because again, it is Friday and some people might want to let off some steam. So I don't want to hold us too long, but just long enough, drop a few gems and jewels, for those who, see them there, might want to pick them up, put them in their pockets, take them with them. You know what I mean? Let's do it like that. That's a good look, I think. I don't know, man. I almost end up leaving tonight. But I said, wait, I got to do the live. And I said, well, I'll do it on the phone while I'm over there, and I thought about it. I said, get the people a head up first. You know what I mean? Don't just do that type, do that way without, tapping in with the RGC and getting from the RGC their, opinion about it. You know what I mean? This is where we get down with the get down, and we focus on the focus. Again, this is Under the Groove podcast. For those who don't know, you are now a part of touching bases with the people. Again, this is where we come and we put everything, above board. It's nothing shady or, just sideways about this. It's a solid get down, and this is what we appreciate about it. So for those who are, first timers, hey, welcome. Get aboard this. It is touching bases with the people. And also, this is where we say this, man, just more often than anything else. B1. This is where B1 matters. B1 equals Black first. So let's represent that. Be the one to represent B1, man, no matter what it is you're doing, where you're going, and who you come into contact with. Let them know, and not, respectfully. Hey, this is what it is. B1, Black first. All right. That being said, man, again, happy Friday. Peace and blessings to everybody. Another day down, and hopefully today was a day that that you put your all into an effort to make this day way better, way more productive, positive, full of more love and unity than the day before. That's what matters. Again, that's part of this UG, Under the Groove, RGC, touching bases with the people concept. This is how we see shit and we look at it. All right. Good to see everybody up in here. All right. All right, Anthony Antonio, always, man, front and center. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Queen Nzinga, love and respect, no doubt, no doubt. She say TGIF, peace and blessings to the Royal Group. Congregation, let's get it in. B1, y'all. Oh, I see my G up in here. He'll make me want to leave after we shut this down. Go hang out with him if he's still over there. What it do, Mr. Peterson? It's top of the evening. Hope all is well with you and the family. Just checking in with you. Much love and respect, Big Pete. Hey, man, right back to you, bro. You know, love and respect, man. Appreciate every time that you come on up in here, man, and hey, boom, drop something and say, hey, I see you. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. Raymond Skull, 102. Hey, peace and blessings to you and the family, brother. Peace and blessings to the Rays, man. Hopefully, these brothers, again, man, they're up, you know, they're empowering themselves and lifting themselves up, man, from the ground up. You dig? You know, putting it together, making it happen, and making the situation, man, better, you know, than before. You know what I mean? So peace and blessings to you and the Rays, as I said, bro. You going to say, man, shoot, salute, bub. I'm passing through. An incident occurred in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where the police unjustly unalived the brother. Here we go, y'all. It was brutal. I'm working on a reaction to it. The visual is viral. Grand Rapids, okay. Let me write that down because I'm sure go check that out. And like you, man, I'm gonna put that out there, bro. I'm gonna put that out there, man. See, people tend to think that, okay, man, you know, that shit didn't stop or they not tripping. Y'all, man, they gonna stay tripping. It's what they do. Grand Rapids. Police shooting, all right. Yeah, man. You know, unalive the brother, man. So if that's the case, man, we hope that, you know, his family, man, are strong enough to see this through. And, you know, I mean, it's not the same thing, but make them pay for any wrong that was committed, man, against his brother and the unliving of this individual, you know. So we want to send our prayers, man, our thoughts out, man, to that family, you know, put it in an atmosphere, man. Another brother lost, you know, at the hands of this system, man. Sad shit. Sad shit, man. Thanks for that info right there, though, Raymond Skull, man. Like you, I'm gonna get on that, bro. I'll have something bright and early in the morning on that. Trust me. Might be tonight. Okay, Lisa Moore. Lisa, hey, what it do, Queen sister? Blessings, big bro. Peace and love to the kings and queens in the chat. B1 Black first, y'all. We got, yeah, you know. Black first, man. Rakufu. It's a cold game. It's a cold game, big bro. Big deal for Five Deuce AGC. T-Rail's brother just started a new podcast. And I guess is that the name of it? It's a cold game. Let me know, Rakufu, if that's the name of it. I'll go and tap in, man, see what that thing is about, man. You know, for sure. You know, we're gonna support the people, especially when, you know, everything is above board. You know, it's positive, correct. It's correct. You know, it aids or go towards the betterment of the people, you know. So yeah, let me know if that's the correct name of the channel, man. It's the cold game. Peace and blessings to you also, bro. Thanks for that. Raymond Skull said, to my brothers and sisters, stay aware and stay safe. Listen, y'all. To my brothers and sisters, stay aware and stay safe. We must remember what happened to a lot of our people in 2020 during the COVID epidemic. It was open season on Black life. And yeah, man, I don't think the season ever went away, but you know, you're on point with that, man. We are open season. It don't matter, you know, what's going on in the air, whether we have epidemics jumping off or anything. You know, the economy could be super, super bad. It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter one flip, man, with these people, man. It's still gonna be on and cracking as far as we're concerned. You know what I mean? So appreciate you dropping that, bro. Damn. Worst thing we gonna come into, man, is something like that. Queen Nzinga said, I think that was a couple of days ago. And Queen, excuse me, everybody. Are you talking about what Raymond Skoll just dropped? Okay. Rakufu, yes, that's the name. Okay, of the podcast, everybody. So Rakufu says, big deal from Deuce HGC. T-Rail's brother just started a new podcast. All right, yeah, and I'm mentioning that because, you know, me, I'm going to go check it out, you know. I'm going to go check it out. And again, you know, I'm the type of brother who get out like this, man. If it's above board, you got all my support, man. If it's not, then, hey, man, more power to you, man. Do your thing, you know. I'm not going to be the one to cater to it, but so let's hope that this is another get down that we sorely need, you know, on social media. Another brother stepping up to the plate and say, hey, man, enough's enough. This is what it's really about. And this is what we need to be doing as a black people. Don't matter where you're from, you know, and that shouldn't even be, you know, in the equation. If you're black, you know, if you're black, like Raymond Skoll said, man, be aware and pay attention, you know. Because there's a lot more going on than meets the eye, y'all. And I'll get into that as well, man. This shit is crazy. And shit I've been finding, I've been researching and since last night, you know. I got very little sleep. I was back up at 3:30 this morning. You know, call myself trying to, you know, catch up on my rest, take a quick nap, was back up in an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know, exhausted. But it's the fact that there's a lot going on in the world and I feel like I'm sleeping, you know, when I should be awake, man, paying attention in you know, putting something down that would inform or educate the people just in terms of what is really happening in the world. So I'm not worried about sleep just yet. I'll get it. I will get it. Appreciate that, Rakufu and Queen Nzinga, as well as you, Raymond Skoll. You know, keep us abreast of what's up, man. Raymond goes on to say an officer was unalived out here in Indianapolis, Indiana, 2 days before. I'm thinking it was retaliation. The officer's unaliving has been the big talk out here. The brother's name is Jaquan Johnson. So, yeah, like I said, I got that lined up. I'm going to get into that one. Jaquan Johnson. Okay. Yeah, man, we're gonna tap in on that for sure, for sure. You know, I ain't feeling that no more than anybody else, man, to understand what's at stake. Okay. Raymond goes on to say the K9 subdued him and they stood over him and maliciously deleted this brother, then put the K9 back on him after him being deceased. This journalism career makes on education, you know. Yeah, you got me peaked, man. I have to go check that one out. You say, hey, Bub, man, Rakufu say, hey, Bub, man, don't know what it's about. I just made you aware of another LA bro from around our way, like Milk, Chinaman, Triggerbird, etc. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah, I wonder how Milk is doing, man. I'm sending a shout out to Milk, man. Hopefully everything is everything with you and yours, man. Hadn't been seeing nothing lately, not like you normally, you know, be out there, bro. So hopefully, you know, you know, just putting your shit together, man. You know, hopefully you're all right. Period, point blank. You know, kind of miss you out there, man, and you know, ringing the bells, on dudes, man. Keeping 100, you know. So yeah, peace and blessings to Milk, man, as well as my homeboy, man, my bro, China Man, and my younger bro, Trigger Bird, man. Love and respect, man, to all you brothers. Straight up. Straight up. So I went in today and I gotta keep my eye on this damn on the chat room because that shit takes off, man, and I'll be behind 15, 20 comments. Anyway, so I went in today, man, and I restructured some of All Things Politics, renamed it, put a new emblem in there and everything, you know, new image, icon, whatever. The art of political discourse, man, it's a nice, you know, hookup. Brother-in-law hooked me up on that. I appreciate him for that. It looks good, man. Also, I went in today and I'm starting to drop shorts now. So what I'm going to do is go through all the videos I've done since I've been doing this and go and extract from those videos just positive and meaningful, conversation or sayings, um affirmations, shit like that. I think I think it's important to put that out there, and that it's especially it's even better putting it out there, and it's positive, but it's not so long-winded and drawn out. It's long enough just to hold people's attention span. You know what I mean? So I started that today. Got 4 on each one. And then they're the same. For those who don't know, I just sent some over to the Art of Political Discourse and the over to Under the Groove podcast. So they're over there, and tomorrow every day I'll drop maybe 4 or 5 shorts. Again, only pertaining to our love, our unity, dignity, respect, identity, man, positivity, productivity, empowerment, Black power. That's it. That's all. I think that's worthy. I think that's worth doing. Also, man, as far as Under the Groove go, I got another I have another agenda. Well, I have an agenda. It's about to go into effect in terms of the type of content I'm dropping on there, man. Again, this move or this transition, man, is in full effect. It's not complete yet. But just so everybody know, man, that's still a work in progress. I have different ideas, about, the whole the channel, the podcast, the studio, all that. I want to improve on it in such a way that when people see it, even if they just passing by, it catches their eye, and it makes them want to come in and see what the information or the education is, what the content is about. So I'm working on that, man. Like I said, to the point where it's something that very well can be appreciated, and in fact, I think that it will be appreciated. So therefore, it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. So there that go, man. There that go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Rakufu says, Bubble, if you haven't watched Cross, the series, I highly recommend it. It's in Prime Video. Listen, man. Yeah, my wife watches that all the time. All right. So listen, just so everybody understands, she has her television. I have mine. Hers is on most of the time. So, when I come in, she already got something going. I feel like ain't no sense in, competing or turning my TV on at the volume that her volume is. And, none of that. So, for the most part, man, whatever she has on her TV, for the most part, I'll watch it. I'll pay attention, but Cross is one of the shows, the series she watches that. So, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. It's all right. It's all right. She's watching one now called Nowhere Man or something like that. Nowhere Man, I think it is. This brother, African brother, I think he is. But it's pretty good. I've watched a lot of those so far. But again, most of what I watch is only because it's on her TV. I very rarely turn my TV on, to tell you the truth, unless I'm just in the feeling of that moment. I'll turn my TV on and I'm like, hey, let's compete. Then, get her, divert her attention to my TV. Maybe she'll turn hers off, do what I do. But yeah, it's all good, man. I'll check that out though. Well, again, I don't have to check it out because she probably had it on today or tomorrow anyway. Raymond Skull said, man, venturing in this journalism space, I enjoy it because I get the chance to educate myself and keep my awareness keen, sharp. All right. Thanks for the motivation, bub, man. And I would like to thank those who motivated me. You know what I mean? Again, man, still sharp and still, each one reach one, each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I like to think that, hey, man, I was just passing it forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to do. And not just with, in instances like this or, evolving around circumstances or situations like, podcasts or social media, but just in general, in life in general, we want to be able to reach somebody and teach somebody, we want to, understand that we've been blessed with something. So the mindset should be, or, it should be. To pay it forward, pay it forward, man. Reach the people by any means. Reach the people. So, hey, man, get it done though, Roscoe. Get it done, homie. Shoot, make it happen, man. And again, just so you know, I found out some more shit about this social media space, man. And it seems to be working. I'm getting a little, a few more likes, shares, comments and subscriptions on the new channel. I'm pretty sure I could do better, which is, not my intent, but which is what I'm gonna do. This time next week, I'm pretty sure it'd be just even better than what it is now. So again, man, if it's anything I can help you with, let me know. Let me know, because what I picked up, man, I'm pretty sure I was supposed to pass it on, man. So I'll hand it off to you. That ain't no problem. And you hit the goal line with it, bro. Yeah. Poke Mitchell Podcast TV said, man, wait a minute, I missed something. Where you at, Poke? But that thing said continue, so I think I probably have to go down. No. All right, something missing in your comment, Poke. I see the ass end of it, or maybe the middle part of it, but I don't see the beginning or the end. All right, just so you know, bro. I don't want to half-ass read your comment. So check it out and see what's missing. See if you can put it in there. Raymond Scholes says, man, I've been up. I'm gonna be up. Excuse me, everybody. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna be up to Bub because I have to elaborate on the lives of our Black brilliant brothers and sisters. I'm going in tomorrow. Again, from just based on what I've been learning in the last 2 weeks about this thing, you have, there is a such thing as being consistent with it, and that's something I never really was, you know what I mean? Because again, man, I'm not in this space, man, to get rich or, to get a bag. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, and especially when YouTube paying my black ass, because that's who pockets I want to be in. I want to be in the people's pockets. But I'm saying that to say, man, I never looked at it like that, and a lot of brothers, I understand, man, they get into this space and, they get into it because it represents a hustle or a bag. You know what I mean? What they're dropping, what they're putting out there to the masses does not matter to them. And this shows, this shows based on the content. The content tell you what a lot of brothers' minds are, you know what I mean? How they see shit, and whether or not they're principled, whether or not they have integrity, you know what I'm saying? Or whether or not they not just, respect others, but respect themselves. As, conversely, respect themselves enough to respect others. And that respect is exemplified, I think, to a great degree in the content we drop. You know what I mean? But to each his own. To each his own. That's not a knock on nobody, man, because like I said, man, that's not my life. I'm not, again, I'm not dictating to anyone. Them days are long gone. And I appreciate that. Give me more time, man, to think about me and keep me in line. You know what I mean? So when grown men decide to do what they decide to do as grown men, that's on them, I understand, man, I go about how I go about doing things because I see as a grown man, this is what I'm supposed to do. Knowing what I come from, knowing what I was involved in, part of the problem that I helped to create, it leads me to get down a certain way. And again, that can be described, or it can be seen or exemplified in the content I drop on social media. This content, it reaches our people, and what's sad about it is that most of this content, especially the negative aspect of the content, it gets out there, man, it gets out there quicker and on such a greater level than content that is positive or empowering, or it represents love for self and others just like them. So that being said, man, I'm aware of that. I am aware of that. And no bag is gonna have me be a part of that, that tearing down, man, of what's left, of our communities, of our society, our culture, the fabric of us, our people is already tattered, ripped and torn, and it seems as though social media is in place to make sure that it's just not ripped and torn, that it's ripped to shreds, And this is why we see what we see. Again, I don't think none of this stuff is by accident. I think that most of what we see on social media, man, is intentional. It was meant for it to be there, to further cloud our judgment, to further put into the minds, especially young minds, man, that which shouldn't be in there, garbage, So when garbage goes in, what comes out? Garbage in, garbage out, And we see this every day, man, in our society, in our communities. And again, most of it is based upon what they're seeing, what they're being fed psychologically, visually, what they're hearing, all that shit matters, man. So again, man, to those brothers who see fit to do what they do, then hey, man, more power to them. Not in that respect, but hey, in other words, I'm not, hey, I have to focus on what I know is right, what I know is right. And I know what the problem in the community is, why the problem exists. Again, I only know this based on my experiences and what I contributed to the problem. So if I know this and I know that that's some, it's a bad thing, it does the community no good, no justice, hey, I can't partake in that anymore, man. I know better, That's me. But Raymond Skull, man, do the damn thing, bro. We need brothers, man, with mindsets, brothers who are one, smart, intelligent, who are articulate, who can send a message to the people, man, that again is gonna help the people. The purpose of this, man, what we don't understand, a lot of our brothers who doing this is the purpose should be of this is to again empower the people. Uplift the people, man. Let's get them out of this muck and mire that we're in, man. Don't help them to sink deeper. So you been in this Raymond Skull, man, like I said, it's a good look, man, and we need you in here. All right? We need you in here, bro. Straight up. Appreciate you. All right, Poke, you never came back with that. I don't know what that's saying, Poke. Anyway, that last forever be one. Always rest in peace to that brother that lost his life. And you're talking about the brother Jaquan Johnson, I take it, over in Indianapolis, man, who was unalived by, them pigs, man. Yeah. Yeah, our sentiment, man, is the same, man. Peace and blessings, rest well to that brother, man. And hopefully, his family will find not just justice, but solace, in this brother's deletion, man. Shit. I tell my wife all the time, man, if that happens to me, and I know the hardest part for some people to do is record, especially when something traumatic or something, life altering takes place, life ending takes place. It's hard for people to keep, their focus, because they, I probably couldn't do it. Shit. I couldn't do it. I'd probably drop that phone, stop recording quick, man. Yeah, now y'all got to kill me, man. You know what I mean? But I tell my wife all the time, man, just find the strength, man. If something happened, I need you to record. I need you to record. And that recording, man, I mean, it may not save my life, but, the hopes are that, man, for those who do wrong, man, against us, man, they'll be made to pay because there's evidence that they violated, they done whatever they done was unjust or unjust, and they need to be held accountable, And then I tell also, and I say this because I'm dead serious, and you make sure you hit them in their pockets. You hit them in their pockets, starting from the individual that probably, that unalive the individual, start with him first, take his home, take his pension, ruin his life. Then get the police department, then get the city and the state, man, just get them all. Shit, you know. But yeah, it's sad, man, that had to happen, or that happened. And you know, there's another deletion, another black man not here. Now I'm wondering, does he have a family? Yes, he has a family, of course. Did he have kids? I don't know. You know, um, here it is now, another black man gone. And if he has kids, then that means here are some more children, man, without a father. You know, I can just imagine what the spiel gonna be. Oh, he didn't follow commands, and yeah, yeah, it's probably coming, man. Raymond Costa, man, I'm messing with this reaction stuff, so I'm figuring it out. Yeah, man. You know, and I think that, you know, to some extent I do it too. You know what I mean? Especially on a new podcast. But you know, I keep that reaction content geared towards or directed at, you know, those things that are political. You know what I mean? I'm not, and I don't mean political in a lot of senses, you know, when we talk about street politics, give a damn about that, you know. Unless them street politics in some form or fashion, in some way, mailed into, you know, city politics, you know, and you know, things of that nature. In fact, I'm gonna do a piece about that, maybe tomorrow Sunday, in terms of how the city is going to deal with the culture, the gang culture, and you know, brothers don't really see it, man. I dropped something the other day, that was reactionary about the the LAPD commission uh giving the LAPD $2.1 million, man, for additional drones for their drone fleet. Now a lot of us don't even know they had a drone fleet. You know what I mean? I sure didn't. I thought maybe they had a few drones, you know, and they use them for whatever, you know, they use them for and keep them out of the communities, but that's not true. You know, they have docking stations, docking bays all over. That's what the 2 million was to add more docking stations and docking bays for these drones all over the city. And they gave them another 2 drones to add to whatever that number the fleet is. I tried to go and find what was the number of drones they have in the fleet already, you know, and you had to give them 2 more, you know. Um, it's things like that, man. We have to be aware of it. There are things like that that I want to cover, you know, and I want to cover them because they're informative, you know, letting the people know, man, hey, man, no matter what they say, man, these drones, you know, they say they make a call, the drone reports to a 911 call before the pig gets there to make sure the area is secured, you know, for pigs protection. Um, that sort of thing. And I'm thinking, now that ain't really gonna be how that's not gonna be how it really works. You know, that drone could be recording footage. Let's say he leaves from the docking station or docking bay over here, and his mission, the 911 call, is 3 miles away. I'm willing to wager that camera is on and it's recording everything it passes over. You know what I mean? In a way, that's, you know, because these are supposedly the authorities. It's a violation. You know, it's a violation, man. You know, not only that, but they say, oh, well, they have a system in place where anytime a drone is in the air, you can track it. I'm like, yeah, that might be for those, but what about the ones that we don't know are offline in terms of not connected to the docking bay, and they can use them without our knowledge? You know what I mean? Uh, and then just being in the air, you know, hovering, you know, surveying, the surveillance, man. You know what I mean? Just surveilling people, man, in their everyday activity. That's a violation. And I said, man, it should remind a lot of us about the 3 strikes. The 3 strikes law didn't, it had nothing to do, you know what I mean, with just, you know, petty crime, you know, nonviolent crimes, things of that nature. They say, man, in fact, 3 strikes was created, or it passed because it was supposed to address those individuals who are raping young ones, you know, molesting, you know, and killing as a result of these actions, you know, those types of things. Hey, man, it didn't take 3 strikes, no time to be attached to everyday individuals committing petty crimes, you know, petty felonies, petty misdemeanors, a piece of, man, a thing of aspirin, you know what I mean? Before these, you know, that thing started just sweeping brothers up, man. 25 to life. You had 2 strikes, you get caught for stealing a slice of pizza. That was a 3rd strike, 25 to life. So we have to be careful. And because, like I said, and like Raymond Skoll was saying, you know, we want to be mindful. We want to be aware, man, and on our game. Because if we're not, man, they're going to slide something up under us, man. This is what they always do. So now they're going to have these drones in the air, y'all. Straight up. You know, and it just makes sense that they're putting them out there now and probably working out the kinks or just getting an understanding how they want to use them because the Olympics are coming. And trust it, no, they're going to have drones everywhere, man. So they're putting them to use now. I wouldn't be surprised, man, you know, if any arrests that have occurred recently in the communities, man, in Los Angeles, man, are a result of drones just hovering and surveying areas. You know, got that technology on it when they hear it's a gunshot or something, you know what I mean? They got them on light posts. So I'm pretty sure they have this same type of technology on these drones. You hear a gunshot, boom, the drone go over there, you know, look who's speeding away from the scene, look who's running, you know, boom, you know, just surveilling, you know. So we have to be, yeah, I agree with Raymond, man. We have to be just vigilant, man, be aware of what's going on in the world. That's why I do the type of reaction videos I do on the art of political discourse. You know, it's reactionary, but it's geared towards or directed at dealing with the political aspect of everyday living, man. Not just here in these United States, but geopolitically speaking, all over the world. You know, so that is. Yeah, man. If you want to do that, bro, that's on you, man. And you'll figure it out, man. You'll figure it out. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, right back at you, bro. You know, ain't nothing but love and respect, homie. Get it done. Los Angeles Aboriginal, where you been? Grand Rising, brother. Hopefully everything's everything, man. You are in good graces. You're in good shape. You're healthy, man. You know, hey, good to see you back, bro. Been about a week. Good to see you back, though, man. Your presence was missed. You know, I noticed you wasn't in the get down. And I said, you know, again, one thing about this get down, man, that this get out understands about the people and the masses is that, man, we all have lives to live. You know, and some of our lives, man, just based on what's going on in the world, we have to prioritize it. We have to deal with those things. We have to be not just responsible, but accountable, not just for ourselves, but others. So it's not like, you know, we expect everybody to be here when we go up. No, man, that's just not the way it works, you know? So, hey, man, in any respect, good to see you here, bro. Good to see you back. All right. Los Angeles Aboriginal goes on to say, man, put your new channel link up on this page description or in a comment. I tried to subscribe last time I was on here, but didn't know what it's called or where to find it. Let me get on that right now. Yeah, man, appreciate that. And y'all know we do have an email address. I'll put that in there as well. But the new get down is, okay, let's do it like this. Hold on. Gotta get it right. All right. I'm looking at some, y'all. Hold on. Okay. All right, got it. Got it. Okay. Did I get that in there? Let me make that one word. The new channel or the new name of the channel is no longer called all things politics. Is now called The Art of Political Discourse. All right, that's up there. It's right there in the comment section and chat section. And then we have, of course, Under the Groove. All right. That's also, you know, a channel that, you know, we put down. And let me give you the oh shit, I left my phone in the room. The email. Okay. Okay, and that's the email. All right. There we go. And I appreciate you for, pulling my coattail to that Los Angeles Aboriginal. Much love and respect, man. Whether you did that or not, love and respect. But again, it's always good to see brothers up in here, and hanging out, man. Not just hanging out, but being a part or being involved or participating in this get out. Much appreciated, truly. Okay. So yeah. Raymond Scott said, man, I'm excited to know that I can educate people, and the feedback I received, although wasn't many comments, but the ones I received made me really want to do this. And yeah, so here's the thing too. Because it's fairly new, the algorithm is not really going to direct people to the get down, you know what I mean? And so this is why you see, not just, not many comments, but subscriptions, views and shit like that. The key to it though, and we talked about this already, Roscoe, is just, the consistency, on the content. The consistency. And the more you drop it, boom. You know what I mean? The more the algorithm allows you in. Again, I never tripped that because again, I didn't, I just wanted to get, the word out. I wasn't thinking, okay, the more I get out, man, the more, the numbers will grow and the bigger the sack, I was talking to one of the loved ones about that. I said, yeah, man, don't get me wrong, just get the money. And again, my thing is get YouTube for the money. But at the same time, what's more important or what's most important to me is getting the message out there rather than me getting the money. You know what I mean? Because I think, man, if I do what I'm supposed to do for the people, because, it's in me to do this, then, hey, man, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. And it's going to happen just based upon what I'm doing, how involved I am in this get down. So I'm more involved in it now than I was previous, so it's a good look, man. And also, bro, do shorts on your get down, homie. Do shorts. Do minute or 2 minute shorts, minute and a half shorts. Go in there and figure out the best part of what you were saying in your get down, man, and boom, drop that. But I'm gonna go in again, man, and check out your get down, man. And people, please, yeah, like, share, comment, follow, and subscribe, man. To the get down. To the get down, Hold on, because I should have that too. My mind be foggy sometime, Roscoe. I'm trying to locate your channel because I wrote it down on. I got so much shit right here. I think it's Dialogue with Roscoe. All right, y'all check that out, man. And Roscoe, make sure I said that right. The Dialogue with Roscoe. Like, share, comment, follow. Subscribe to the brother channel, man. Give him not the benefit of the doubt, but give him the support, he need, man, to not just, feel good about himself, but motivate him even more, man, to drop that stuff, that type of content, man, that, the people sorely need. Let's put it like that. All right, I saw that, Rakufu. You about to get into my lane now, boy. Okay. Rakufu asks, Bub, do you like sci-fi? Come on, homie. I do all that. That's my shit. Sci-fi is my shit. That's what I like more than anything, man. Sci-fi. Stargate, man, something I've seen every episode. I've seen all the spinoffs. I would consider even X-Files sci-fi, Fringe sci-fi. I've watched all that shit, man. Sci-fi is my shit, man. Also anime, but not all anime, just some of it, but science fiction shit, yeah. Come on, man. They giving you game, man. You watch sci-fi, they telling you what's going on behind the scenes, man. That's what I think. And I'd be intrigued watching it. I ain't gonna lie. Make me think, damn, they got that. Do they got that weapon? Do they have that machine? Can they do that? I love me some sci-fi, man. Real shit. Also a big Star Wars fan, man. you know, like Star Wars, man, and other, uh movies like that. I'm a Marvel fan, also DC fan, but really more Batman than all of them. Y'all rather, I think, corny. They don't do them right. Yeah, man, I'm in anything, man, sci-fi, man, certain animation. They got one, man, and it could be considered sci-fi, I'm pretty sure, called Warhammer. Space Marines, man. I don't know if you watched that one yet, man. That shit off the chain, man. That shit off the chain. So I watch that too. But yeah, I'm a fan of sci-fi, no doubt. No doubt. You got something. Hopefully you got something for me, Rockhoof. I don't know why you didn't back that up with something more than Stargate, man. I'm an old head. Stargate was one of my shit. You know what I mean? That's Tilt my boy. you know. I do some Stargate, man. But yeah, drop me something, man. Let me see if you got something I ain't seen, man. Because I'm always searching. And then nowadays I go to YouTube just to get sci-fi. I go to YouTube movies, man, just to find sci-fi. All right. Yeah, just to get down, man. Broaden my horizons, because I'd probably seen everything on the Netflix, Hulu, all them, Prime, and some of that should be crap, but I'll give it the time of the day regardless. Yeah, hit me up, man, with some good sci-fi, bro. All right, Poke, you up in here, man. You said I was just letting you know that I'm at work. But much love always to the kings and queens on UTG. All right, brother. Peace and blessings, man. Enjoyed our conversation yesterday, man. Know that, man, for a fact. Oh, and let me drop something, man. What we like to do, what we would like to do, and this is for the brothers and sisters in LA who are able. We want to have a sit down, man. Maybe a lunch or something. Before we make plans to do that, first off, let's see who want to be involved in this, because what it would entail, or what it will entail, is us coming together now. You know what I mean? We're touching bases in person. We very well may record. You know what I mean? Maybe have a microphone passed around. Let's just talk about some things that affect us. What we've gotten so far out of our interactions together. You know what I mean? What does it mean to you to be a part of something, or wanting to, involve yourself in some of this magnitude? And I think this is some powerful stuff when brothers and sisters come together and talk about those issues that affect us. So this is something, I'll be mentioning this now every day until I think Friday, just to see if we can get, a fixed number of people. I want to show up, just hang out, man, break bread, man, chop it up, just enjoy our company, man, in person. And again, just, do what we're doing now, but in person. So me and a couple of brothers already discussed it. Love some more sisters in here, man. Hopefully that can be arranged. You know what I mean? We'll put it together, though. We'll put it together. I'm thinking, man, that'd be a good look. That'd be a good look. And record it. And record it live. Hopefully we can do that live. And that's another thing, just finding the right place, location that has the seating that we think we're gonna need. Like more like a round table type seating that, again, we don't know the number of people, but right now the mindset is like 8 to 10 people. Have something set up, man. We can record this thing, man, pick a couple of mics, pass them around, you know what I'm saying? And, boom. Let's see what can come of that. So it's worth discussing. It's worth discussing. That'd be us taking it to another level. That's a start. I think it's like a springboard, man, into, not necessarily deeper waters, but more, vast, a bigger ocean. What can come from that? Who knows? Who knows? All right, Poke, man, take care of yourself. Be safe, bro. Raymond Skull said, man, I checked out All Things Politics. You have informative content. I seen the segment on the drones, and I'm telling you, I left a part of that out. So not only, listen, man, this is what's going on. And again, man, they got us so distracted about what's really going on in the world, man. We don't see this stuff, and it's right in front of us. So they have technology down. The police, the LAPD, they have technology where they can sit a block from your house, 2 blocks, half a mile from your house with this device the house they casing or whatever, violate all types of constitutional, rights and stuff, and look into your house and can tell they'll know how many bodies in there, guns, all kind of shit. I stumbled on that and I was like, damn, for real. But I recall when I was doing time, I used to get National Geographics. I had a subscription. I got them all the time. And they were using the same device at the border on big rigs, unbeknownst to, them drivers coming through, doing whatever they were doing. They had this device. The dogs was just the front. They had this device that can see through the whole rig, the back of the rig, the trailer. And that's how they was busting, these big shipments, man. So now they didn't got it to where it's compact enough, or it's small enough to where, they can pull it out the trunk, man, set it up, and boom, they can see everything going on. And if they got that type of technology, they can also hear whatever the fuck they want to hear. But the second piece I neglected to drop about what I'm talking about gave pointers or information as to how to combat that. Even if you're not doing nothing wrong, it's just a matter of privacy. You know what I mean? So I'm going to turn around and drop that anyway. I'm going to come behind myself and drop that one because I think that's important. Appreciate that you saw the drone piece, man. But that shit is happening with these drones, y'all. And it ain't just Los Angeles. It ain't just California. They use these drones in other states. People don't even know, man. They're doing this shit already. They're doing it already. If you watch a lot of sci-fi stuff, you could watch those futuristic movies, dystopian type movies where authority runs everything. Instead of them having cameras, they have drones. They fly, in certain grids, and so it's what's going on, man, in terms of us being in an authoritarian state, or a fascist state, police state, or whatever you want to label it, or whatever you want to call it, is actually happening. It does exist. It exists, man, as we speak. Every day our rights are being, just taken from us. Every day something is going on that shouldn't be going on. And for the most part, a lot of us are none the wiser, and that's bad. Yeah, appreciate you checking that one out, though, man. Yeah, everybody. The art of political discourse is up and running. Have in excess of, I forgot how many videos up in there, man. Quite a few. So you get time, go check them out. And I have to admit that from starting initially to where we are now, man, boom, so much, honing the skill, honing the skill. So I think they're very informative and educational, insightful as well. So worth looking at. Now, couple that with the fact we do have Under the Groove podcast, man. Just go in there, man. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, or if you see fit. And go for both channels, man. Appreciate you guys' viewership and participation in this Get Down. That's real spit, man. Pope Mitchell said, man, I'm on the set wishing everyone peace and blessings. We do the same for you, bro. It's shit. Is it cold over there? It's been cold as hell around here, man. I hope you dress right, boy, because, you catch a cold quick in this type of weather. Stay vigilant, man. Stay warm, bro. Los Angeles Aboriginal says they buy and use all of them Flock Street cameras. Camera ring, camera cell phone, towers, phone apps, agreements to get our info and location. Another thing, point made, man. Point made, Los Angeles Aboriginal. LAB. I'm going to call you Lab. 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 Point made. We don't know that we are just, seriously, man, we bring them into the home. They already have full access to everything we do, you know what I mean? And trust and know that these phones, man, are created to where they record audio and visual when we think they're not on, There's shit on YouTube about it. Yeah. Everything, ring cams, all that shit. everything. Flock cameras, it's all an invasion of privacy. It's all surveillance. That's what it boils down to. It's all surveillance. There's no such thing as freedom, or liberty, when you have the authorities, having you under surveillance, invading your privacy. There's no such thing, man. Hey, good point right there, lad. Appreciate it. Okay. You going to say, lab, peace, God. I've been doing this second full-time night security after day construction, so I've been slipping, but we'll be here now. Everything's settling a little more. Again, man, priority first. Priority is first, man. Do how you know you're supposed to do. We're going to be here. We're going to be here. We'll be here waiting on you, bro. Yeah. Stay at it, though. Cold thing, man. We got to do how we do, right? Need second, third jobs, man. All right, Maury Bubba. He say, happy Friday. God bless y'all. One love. Right back to you, bro. Good to see you up in here. Good to see you, good to see you back up in here hanging out, man. Lab say, man, peace to everyone, Big Bub and the Big 716. All right. Salute right back to you, Maury. Queen Nzinga says, we all need to support each other. That's how we win. The red, black, and green, man. True that. True that. There should be more support for one another. And it's sad, man. And people be quick to say, oh, that ain't true. We support other ethnic groups before we do our own. Before we do our own. And that's messed up. But yeah, more support for the melanated people from the melanated people, man, is a good look. It's beneficial, man. It works for everybody. You need to try that out, y'all. Rakufu said, "Bro, that's crazy. I've seen all of them too." All right, so you're a sci-fi head. Yeah. They even got a channel on here called Sci-Fi. They just spell it different. SYFI, something like that. And then speaking of the sci-fi, again, I know you watch Stranger Things. I haven't watched it in the last couple of months, and I think they got a lot of new shit. The little kids and grew up now, they're getting older. But the shit is more out there, The shit is more out there, man, in terms of what they putting out every episode, man. I'm telling you, it's really something to think about. Frederick Hazaby, man, salute right back to you, bro. I see you up in this get down. Rakufu, you already know I know the storyline behind Prometheus, man. Come on, don't play. Do not play. Another one of my favorites, man, the Prometheus or the Alien, saga or series, you know what I mean? I'm into all that, man. Also shit, Predator, like that one. But yeah, Alien, come on, man. Prometheus, they got a few of them, man, that are spinoffs. A lot of people don't know that they're part of the Alien Get Down, like Prometheus, Hell yeah, that's my shit, man. Lisa Moore said, B1 black first, y'all. All right, Soldier Denise. Hey, how's the Queen sister? How you doing? She said, greetings, family. All right, that love getting sent right back to you, sister. Hopefully everything is everything and you are good, All right, Maury said, man, positive vibes, only motivational. Positive vibes, only motivation, education. All right. Straight up, man. And you're going to say, God bless all y'all, big brother. I'm going to go motivate and be a blessing. That's our work, man. Each one teach one, each one to reach one, man. And we got to put the work in. Rakufu say, Bub, how about historical shows like Viking series or those about to die series about Rome or Spartacus? Yeah, but again, y'all, I keep 100. My wife watches all that. I came the other night, she's watching it. I'm like, all right. One day it will become evident, a lot I don't allow myself to check out, man, for all kind of reasons. But I'm familiar with Viking. I'm not a fan. What's the other ones? Spartacus and Rome, yeah, she watches the hell out of those types of, series and shit. So I see them. I'll tolerate them for so long. You know what I mean? She's watching one, and I got to be honest, I watched this one more than 1-2 episodes, maybe 3 or 4. In fact, she fell asleep and I stayed up watching them. It's about it has to do with Rome or gladiators. It's this sister, and she man, cold piece, cold piece. She puts in work. She good with that sword and good with combat. I forgot the name of it, but I watches that one. You know what I mean? I have to admit that I kind of like it as well. So, that I do watch. Spartacus, yeah, that one too. But Vikings, I'm not a fan. The other night again, she fell asleep and I was watching. She had some on her TV, and I'm up, shit, wide awake, and I'm watching it, and it had something to do with Vikings, and but more to the historical context of what they were about and what they were doing, especially with the slave trade, concerning or involving Caucasians. So I watched that thing. That was about it. That's about it. Shit. B60N, what it do? He said they have a drone in Swedeport that can see over the entire city. Hey man, let's check this out. And see, another thing, we have to be mindful of, man, how drones can be, not just how they can be used, but how they can be disguised. So you see what you might think is a hawk, you know what I mean? A chicken hawk or something up there, just going in circles and shit. You might see a crow, just they ain't flapping, they just gliding on the wind current. Could be a drone, could very well be a drone. All right, I'm just saying, but they have them everywhere, man. They got some, man, just wouldn't even be recognized by the human eye, man, because you think you're seeing an insect, for instance, a dragonfly or a butterfly. You see a squirrel, it could be a ground drone. You don't know, man. This is the get down, man. We're in that age where they are experimenting more and more, man, with technology and AI assisted technology, to be more exact. And I'm telling y'all, man, we not even ready, man, for the shit they got in place, man. And this is why we urge brothers and sisters, man, to wake up. Wake up, man. Let's hurry up, educate, inform ourselves, educate ourselves so that we know what the hell we fighting for. Because, man, they got some stuff, and they're going to use that stuff to fight us. They're not going to come, it won't be mano a mano, some extent, some extent. But if there's a mass rising up, they're going to bring out the hardware. They got them. I was watching this thing with China, man, just tonight, when they did their celebration for, I think it was the Lunar Year. I forget exactly what the celebration or the event was. However, they had robots, AI-generated robots on the stage doing karate and shit, flipping, tumbling. All right? Interacting with other human acrobats on the stage, but their shit was so precise, and I'm like, man, this is not, and I went and looked it up, and hey, it's real. And that's China. So we gotta get ready, man. We have to get ready, man. Cause this shit ain't for nobody but us, man. In terms of, defense and shit of that nature, it ain't for nobody but us, man. They don't fight too many of their own kind anymore because they got control of the world. They run most of whatever the world is on. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't them. Those weapons, all that stuff, that hardware, that ain't for Westerners. It's just not, They're trying to settle some shit between each other, man, and say, hey, man, this is really where our fight is, but anyway. Yeah, man. Swedeport. They got them. Roscoe said, man, yes, we are in a fascist regime. Have anybody read the book 1984? Has anybody read that book? If not, man, just give it a try. Get the ebook or something, man. Read that book, man. And the coldest part about the book is when it was written. The book title is 1984. All right. That book was written in 19, and I don't want to exaggerate, man, 1920 something. This is around the advent of television and silent movies and shit. Read that book. If that ain't today, man, I don't know what is, man. Read that book. Then 100 years ago. Yeah, man, gotta wake up. B6M said greetings. Okay, you know what I'm learning, man. When I'm doing this on the comments, I'm probably better off reading from the bottom up. But anyway, I'll catch up. I'm actually caught up, so that's a good look. All right, that's a good look. B6M said greetings and salutations to you, Bub, and the RGC. B1 Black First, the Royal Group congregation, man. This is where it's happening at, man. And again, man, we're gonna take it light. It's Friday. I was talking to someone today, and the discussion was it's always imperative to let's talk about what's wrong with us, rather than mixing that up and just being the people who we are, man, spiritually, what I mean? We're happy people, tell you the truth. We just don't know it because we're so far removed from our natural selves. But we love music, we love laughter. We appreciate joy when we see it. We do, we know how to get through bad times, man, with good memories, man, good people, good food, and again, good music. So, the discussion was going in that direction. And I agreed. I said, yeah, man, I don't necessarily think, and I'm hoping that the RGC feels the way or thinks the same as, this in the direction this conversation was going about, not having to always, it's not negative, but always, put this, we got to always be looking at what the hell is wrong all the time, I think it's just, wise of us to be aware, but I don't think it's necessary all the time to talk about what ails us most. We've been in this fight for a long time. Our people was in this fight way before us, man. We're still in this fight, man. One thing, though, even, dealing with us now and those who came before, they still knew how to enjoy life, how to appreciate it, I think that's what's important, and hopefully the RGC and those who come in and check us out from time to time think the same way. It's still important for us to just, enjoy ourselves, enjoy our company, smile in spite of it all, man. I think that's what keeps us going, our joys, our happiness, man, our memories of good times, So better days are gonna come, and no sense in us rushing them, but they're gonna come when they supposed to. Just the hope is that we're prepared. But we don't have to wear this every day. That's what I'm trying to say. We don't have to wear it every day, man. Let's take some of these days, man. Let's take opportunity or the opportunity with these days we have, man, discussing, man, what makes us smile. What we like in our lives. You know what I'm saying? We're sitting up for the show, man. Believe it or not, we're watching The Nutty Professor. Shit is funny, man. Dave Chappelle in his early days, you know what I mean? The shit was funny, man, And I just found joy in that, just laughing, you know what I mean? In spite of, I know what's happening, I ain't forgot that, you know what I mean? But I think that the fact that we can still laugh and enjoy life, man, is what makes it not just tolerable, but what gives us the mindset to, to understand and know that we're gonna have to deal with that one day. You know, right now we got this, man. So let's enjoy that, you know. Friday's a good time for that. You know, again, you know, we come into his thing saying, hey man, breathe. Made it through the week. Unwind a little bit, man, you know. Put on some of them good oldies, man. Some of that good R&B. You know, some of that good rap. You know, if you like jazz, man, I love jazz. You know, you love blues, man. You know, just enjoy your life, man, while you can. You know, so I think that's important. That being said, let's move on, man. Yeah, I just shared 90. I can't help myself. Go there. All right. B6M, you're going to say Siri and Alexa are always listening. Okay. And I'm, you know, so this is some of the things my wife make me do. But bought a refrigerator, a Samsung. This motherfucker got a screen on it and it talks. It talks when it ain't being talked to. We could be in the dining room talking. It's in the kitchen. And he said, oh, I didn't quite hear that. Can you repeat that? I'm like, oh man, hell no. I don't fuck with TV. I mean, but actually that's what's on it as well. I don't fuck with the refrigerator. You know, you go and people, the grandkids, they can go draw on the screen, all this old shit. I don't fuck with that refrigerator. I go and get a one, boom, shut it, get the fuck out the way. I don't ask for no water. I don't ask for no ice. You know what I mean? I don't do nothing. But hey man, my phone, this new, what is it called? Genesis or something on these phones now. Hey man, just out the blue, what'd you say? What the fuck? Yeah, privacy's gone, man. There's no such thing as privacy. No such thing, man. Yeah, Google bad too. All of them. Shit. All of them bad. Rakufu said, Stranger Things last season out. Now I need to watch it. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, and I purposely went a whole season and not one, maybe two, shit, three. I don't know. Yeah, it's been a minute. And I've done it on purpose because I hate having to wait, weekly for the show and then it stopped, see it again for another 3-4 months, whatever. But it's enough in there now that I can go binge watch that thing now. I used to do that with the Walking Dead. Until the Walking Dead got garbage, man. They got boo-boo. It got boo-boo. It got boo-boo. I used to love the Walking Dead, man. All of a sudden, man, the Walking Dead, you got very few human beings left living, but they doing more killing on the humans than the zombies. I'm like, come on, man, that don't make sense. Shit. I mean, it makes sense, but it don't make sense. It don't make sense. And don't get me started on the zombie apocalypse. Sometimes I say, oh, I wish that had happened. I don't know, man. Shit. Ain't nothing wrong with that thought, I think. Soldier Denise said, I'm well today. Thank you. All right. It's good to know that you're well, sister. I'll see you in a few, for sure, for sure. Take care of yourself. Rakufu said, man, when I was locked up, I used to read sci-fi Arthur Isaac Asimov. I read him, he has a series on Apple TV called Foundation, another series on Apple TV. I think my wife watches that one as well. Called Invasion and Silo. Silo I'm familiar with. Yeah. Invasion, I think my wife watches that one too. And again, the craziest part about what you're saying, these shows you're naming are shows that she has on her TV. I won't go look for them. You know what I mean? I have to be in the mood because I'm kind of particular about the type of sci-fi I watch. You know what I mean? And that's not a knock on Isaac or any of those shows on the channels you just mentioned. It's just I have to stumble on something. Again, it at the peak. My interest to be like, okay, yeah, I want to go see this one, or because I've read about it now, I'm curious, I'll go check it out. But yeah, I'll go check that one. Now, Silo, I'm familiar with though. Yeah, love me some sci-fi. Lab say, man, Ia Ra, that cool goal. My first spiritual name was El Ku Ampu. Ampu. I got to get or earn that Sahu and Ali with age and wisdom or more years of work. Damn, bro, you like Rakufu and the homie with that. Tight with it. That Kugo. I rather that Kugo. My first spiritual name was El Ku and Mpu. I gotta get or earn that Sahu and Ali with age and wisdom or more years of work. Damn. Brothers be deep in that shit, man. I ain't mad about that. Up there we go. Yeah, hey, Rakufu, Queen and Zinga said that's Spartacus, House of Ashur. I'm pretty sure she know her shit, man. She just named some shit. B6EM say they have drones that look like insects. Yeah. I was just checking out some stuff today, man. They had a drone in their hand and it was a bee. It was a bee, man. They had this drone in their hand and it was a bee. You know, then they showed a dragonfly about so big and a butterfly, you know. So, and that's minuscule. That's on a small scale, man. But they camered up, mic'd up. And, you know, who would be suspecting of an insect? You know, you see a bee at the most, you want to swat it away because you don't want to get stung. But imagine a fly, you know, imagine just a regular insect, man. You know, spiders, you know, little shit, man. Little shit, you know. I remember watching The Fifth Element with our boy Debo, man, with Lester. Rest in peace, man, to that brother, man. Anyway, he was the president of this, you know, this world battling, you know, space aliens or whatever. And they had a damn roach rigged with a camera. And this movie's old, you know. This movie's old, man. Back in the 90s, this movie came out. Man, roach with a cameraman on it, you know, with a camera rigged to it, you know. So that just go to show, man. They letting you know, man, they've been working on this shit. It makes sense though, you know, if you're thinking in terms of where the world is going as far as technology is concerned, it stands to reason that you're gonna have that. You know, you're gonna have that. You know, they're gonna have fake deers, man, for hunters who violate, you know, hunting season or something. You know, gators. They got all that shit, man. Fake animals, man. Just, you know, ground drones, so to speak. They got them that fly already, I'm pretty sure. But anything that, you know, that they can make into a drone that's functional to help them with whatever it is they're on, they're going to do that. They're going to do that without hesitating. Raymond Skull said, Bub, I think I even hear that they are making insects that are cameras for surveillance too. Yeah, that's what me and B60M talking about. You know, well, same thing. We're on the same page, man. That shit is here. It's here. I wouldn't listen, man. They have automatons. I'm pretty sure, man. A lot of people might want to call them robots or cyborgs. They have them. They have them, you know, and trust me, they don't walk like robots. You know, they walk like cyborgs. And cyborgs, man, if you look at a lot of sci-fi shit, you can't tell a cyborg. The Terminator movie is cyborgs, and motherfuckers get down just like that. They like human beings, man. So when they having these protests and shit hit the fan, man, trust and know they gonna slide some robots up in, or whatever we want to call them, whatever we want to call them, they gonna slide them up in there, man. They gonna be up in there, man, acting like they're part of the get down, but recording everything. Might be there to stop your ass too. You never know. You never know. Oh, you seen that B60M about the robots? They were in sync, man. That motherfucker was tumbling, kicking, fighting. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. Damn. And again, that was China's version. You know, and the guy was trying to say, oh no, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. They're just all hooked up into the same, you know, the same device, and they could control them, make them flip. You know, I'm like, yeah, I bet you they didn't need that. That's just some shit you trying to, you know, trying to appease the people, make them think that, okay, oh, whew, they not, you know, functioning just on some program they put in them, and they, you know, same thing. Them things, man, are gonna do what they're gonna do. I also end up reading today about maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago in Japan. Was it one robot, two robots? Killed like 29 Japanese scientists, right? So when I first seen it, I said, "This some bullshit." So I went online. 2 robots killed 29 scientists in Japan about 5 years ago. I'm like, how the hell is that possible? And they want to tell you, oh, don't worry about it. AI is not rigged. Man, look, man, this is some Skynet shit, man, going on. Better be careful. This is some Skynet shit, man. These robots, man, are autonomous, man. I'm telling you, you cannot mess with this AI shit and think that at some point they won't override systems. You're giving them intellect, you know? Man, I don't hear about no fail safe. Keep 'em away from me. Yeah. Lab, and I could Los Angeles Aboriginal, y'all. If it's all right with him, I just I say Lab for short. I should say La, LLA, but I just say Lab for short. Aboriginal. Anyway, Los Angeles Aboriginal said not the fridge, more like snitch house instead of smart house, right? All this tech sell our interests and habits to make us consumers. Hey, and again, man, initially, man, I'm like, I think I'm a practical guy, man. I really do. I think I'm practical in that, okay, uh, if I buy a refrigerator, I'm looking at 2 refrigerators and they both do the same thing. One just might have, some thrills and frills on it, a screen and shit like that. What difference does it make? It still do this one right here is cost less. It does the same shit. I'm not too interested in sitting down watching TV on my refrigerator anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm in that respect, I'm like, hey, I would get the one that ain't got all that shit, if it's up to me. A stove. I don't need the stove to do all the talking and none of that. Hey man, I could turn the burner on, turn the oven on, the broiler on. You know what I mean? That's all the stove need to do. I don't need all this other shit. You know, but they are, yeah, they're making it so where no matter what, they're bringing, or we are allowing technology into our homes and we don't really understand it. We don't really understand the specifics of it. We don't know, man, how these things function. Let's just be straight up, man. You have to be one of them type of persons or people who understand microchips and all this stuff, all that stuff that make this shit go. Got to be careful, man. That TV, I bullshit y'all not. We could be sitting up playing some board games in the dining room, just hanging out, and we just laughing, having a good time, man. And that TV will say some shit, and it used to spook me, but now I'm just more cautious. I'm not even curious about it. I'm just cautious, and in the family, everybody know, don't say nothing around this damn TV. I mean, this refrigerator, I mean, this sucker talks to you and it just come out of nowhere. What'd you say? Can you repeat that? I think one time I said, Alexa, can you kill yourself? And that motherfucker answered and said, no, I can't do that. And I said, why? I'm like, shit, man, this shit crazy. This shit crazy. But that's what we got, man. Lil H-Top, what it do, Lil One? And I got it right. It ain't Lil Hilltop. I know. I was in the flow last night, bro. But anyway, how you doing tonight, brother? All right, good to see you up in here, Groove. All right. It's Lil H-Top 112. He said, your lives keep me focused on my life. Real talk, big homie. And that's the thing, man. That's what's lost in the communities, though. The fact that we've forgotten that our lives are all connected, that we're all connected. Again, man, there's no one who see, again, my first thought, there's no one like us. What I should have said before, there's no one like us, is this. There's a special, there's something powerful, godlike about melanin. And again, this is what they don't teach us. You could be a light-skinned brother. So what? There's something about melanin that it's godlike, man. It has a frequency. It has fucking wavelengths, man. It's something about it. In other words, man, but I'm saying that to say the fact that we're like that, we are connected. You know, we could, if we wanted to, if we got past all the BS, man, that been fed us or we've been taking ourselves through since, we could probably speak to each other without using words. Sound far-fetched? All right. That shouldn't be hard to believe. We believe a whole lot of other stuff, you know? So, but I say that to say, man, we are connected. We are connected, man. You know, and not just through, again, it is the blood, it is the DNA, it is the God gene, you know, but not just through relations, you know, that's my mother, that's my daddy, my uncle, my auntie, my cousin, you know, we are all connected regardless, you know. So yeah, our lives are supposed to keep the lives of those coming up behind us focused, you know, in more ways than one, you know. The ones coming up behind us supposed to focus and see where we're going wrong at, you know, and where we're right at, you know. They're supposed to be able to discern or determine whether or not the example in front of them is one worth following, one worth trusting, you know, one worth loving, you know. That's the business, homie. That's the business. So when you say, Lil H Top, man, hey, your life is focused, or you are kept in a state or stage of being focused because of us and what we do. I mean, that's more than a compliment, you know. That's more than a compliment that you're giving us. It's a compliment that you should accept as well, to the point that the fact of the matter is you are focused enough to understand that. Just think about that, you know. Now, how many more are there like you that see it the same way, you know? So yeah, man, our lives are supposed to do that for you. And your lives are supposed to do that for those coming up behind you. They supposed to look at you, you know, not necessarily the back of you, but what's left in your wake to determine whether or not this is good or something that should be, you know, embraced, you know, or followed. Same go for you, man. You're supposed to see what's in the wake, man, and see whether or not it's right or wrong. Is it good for you or is it bad? You know, sometime we leave a trail, man, of destruction. But before we get to the end of the line, some of us try to, you know, repair how we walk this earth. You know what I mean? We don't want to trample over shit and destroy shit. Now we want to build, you know, because we know there's somebody behind us coming, you know, and they need to be on level ground, man. They don't need to have the pitfalls, you know, and the potholes and the traps, you know, that we fell into or helped to create. So yeah, you give yourself, you know, recognition, bro. Yeah. Appreciate that that this is how your mind working. It's a good look, man. It's a good look. Real spit. Yeah, really good. I'm laughing at Los Angeles Aboriginal. You laughing about that the refrigerator. I'm not lying though. Again, man, I don't know. One day I love to have my wife just come and just tell, you know, just talk, you know, a little bit, but it probably won't happen. So you guys don't look forward to that. But I would trip her out. She's like, hey man, no, man, I'm serious, baby. This ain't happen. What the hell, this TV, you know, this refrigerator, I keep calling it TV because it has a screen on it, but this thing keep talking when ain't nobody talking to it. Something ain't right. You know, I swear, man, man, my shit be like this when I go in their kitchen, man. I'm not talking about nothing that shouldn't be talked about. Not that anything's going on. I'm just saying, I'm just mindful of it, you know. But hey, it's some weird shit, man. It's weird. Trust me. Focus on the focus, man. That's the idea, y'all. That's the idea. We got about 30 more minutes, all right? Because again, it is Friday. I think I'm yeah, I think I might, you know, push up on bro him unexpectedly, grabbing by his ear, man, and come on, man, follow me, hang out with him, man, and just chop it up with him, man. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Got a lot to do in the morning though. So chances are I won't be out late. That's a fact. Yeah, man, we have to appreciate, man, the fact that we have a life to live, and it ain't always, man, peaches and cream, rosy, or that type of life, you just enjoy, man, all day, every day, you know. Yeah, that's something that's missing. But at the same time, man, we got something, man, other people they just cannot comprehend, you know. And we have to acknowledge that about ourselves, man. No matter how bad it get, nobody gets us down. You know what I'm saying? It's something about that, man. Nobody can get us down, man. And really, if you think you did or if you did, woe to you, you know? Woe, to you, But it's just something about us, man. And again, I think it is, for lack of a better phrase, it's the God gene. There's something about us nobody else has or can comprehend, man. This is why we're studied. This is why whatever secrets they have on us, they will not share. It's like, again, man, that's like, you know, taking the top off the Ark of the Covenant, man, and just shit just come out. You know what I mean? Just, that can't be, contained, in us. There's that fear, I think. But, aside from that, man, here we are. We still had the best time of our lives, man. Best time over any other ethnic group. How is that possible? If that ain't worth smiling about, man, I don't know what is. And I don't mean, man, yeah, what's happening, man, is wrong. And yeah, we know this. But here we are, man, and we still create, invent, devise, make up things, man, that pleases us in spite of everything, man, being done against us. Here we are, we are still the most loving and joyous people on the face of the earth, man. Explain that. Explain that. Explain that, man. So, hey, man, in spite, yeah, we know battles, man. We know hardship, but we need to know, love and happiness, man, more than that, because I think that's what's going to get us through. That's what's going to help us win the fight, man, win the war, So be mindful of the fact that, man, we are these people, man, that can find joy, man, where none's supposed to exist. Where we can smile when there's nothing to smile about, They're going to keep wondering. They're going to keep trying to figure it out, experiment. They're going to keep trying to disconnect us. I think that's the thing, man. They're trying to find a way to disconnect us, because how we are and who we are is a threat to them. Saddest part about it is we don't know how great of a threat we are to anyone, if you want to call it that, if that's what they want to call it, that ain't how we see ourselves, we are people who say, man, just leave us the fuck alone. We gonna be all right, and that's truth to power, man. That's truth to power. We're gonna be all right regardless, But hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with smiling, man. Ain't nothing wrong with having some joy. Ain't nothing wrong with looking at what you have and saying, hey, man, okay, I got this, I got this. And however you label that this, whatever you recognize as that this that you possess, man, you know what I'm saying, it's going to help determine, or it would determine for you the worth, your life's worth, I'm just telling my wife today, man, I'm good. I'm where not just where I want to be, where I need to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. It was written. Whoever, I don't know. But I know for a fact, if that wasn't the case, come on, man. You know, I'm fine. You know, we're fine. We good, man. And I take it. I would go out on a limb and say, man, for most of us, man, if we get past what these people are trying to put in our heads in terms of what we need to be these people, to be the motherfucker or whatever, if we get past that, man, and just see ourselves for who we are, we understand, we get to where we know what our worth is, what makes us human, happy. That other shit's gonna matter, man. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, there's a fight to be had, and we gonna have that fight. You know what I mean? We gonna win that war. But in the meantime, in the between time, there's nothing wrong with us just enjoying, who we are as a people. Smiling, having a good laugh, man. You know, after this, man, I'm gonna put on my oldies, man. All my oldies is love songs. You know what I mean? That's the thing about oldies. And then we got those type of songs where they speak to not just the will and the power of the people or the struggle of the people, but the love of the people. You know what I mean? You got Harold Melvin and them got some good shit. OJ's, man, Spinners, Marvin Gaye, and they talk about the stuff, man, that make us the shit. For lack of a better term, man. We are those people. We are those people, man. We gotta be. And I'm telling y'all, man, we had to find not just solace in that, man, but appreciation for that. It's nobody like us, man. No how, no way. And the greatest people known to man. It's worth smiling about, man. In spite of, man. We know it. They know it. Shit. We ain't got to be happy because we know we better than them. We just need to be happy because we know who we are, man. And part of who we are, man, we are joyous, joyful people. We're loving people, man. Straight up. All of our identity haven't been snatched from us. Some of it we still have. We're people with souls, man. Everybody ain't got them. We still know that. Yeah, man. Enjoy life. Enjoy life, man, while we can, man. And fight when it's time to fight, man. It might be every day. It might be every other day. May not be one day in a week, but when it's time to fight, we're gonna know. We're gonna know. In the meantime, man, let's just love us. Let's be about us first. Be one. That's where our joy is. That's where our wealth is, man. That's where our power is, and our happiness. So, yeah, you know, I'm just sitting there thinking about Friday and all the music I know. I can name, our music where they talking about how Friday and this shit, we come out, we get it done. I love being black, man. In spite of everything. I wouldn't choose nothing else. And if I wasn't black, man, I swear I'd be saying, man, I want to be black. Like most of them say. There's something great about us, man. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of being black, man. There's something great about us, man, that can't nobody else say, in terms of themselves, but they recognize it in us. We all right, man. We gonna be all right. There's them as facts, and the focusing on the focus, man, I often wonder, man. Me and Pope talked about this the other day about focusing on the focus. He said, man, that phrase is tight, is power. And yeah, I don't know how I stumbled on that, but okay, we got that. But you know what? It's so not ambiguous, man, but it touches on everything. You know what I mean? The focus on the man, if that focus is right and it's on what it's, man, we can focus on just the fact that, man, when we them people, man, and I'm telling you that focus, that mindset is going to carry us. We're going to create, we're going to do something as a result of the power of that focus. Knowing what that focus is, something's going to come of it. Something's going to come from it. You know, and they'll be like, damn, there they go again. They created something else. Where's this energy coming from? You know, some of them get it. That damn melanin. Power, man. Let's focus on that, man. It's the fact that we have the power. You know, we have the power. It's a beautiful thing, man. Black is beautiful. Black is beautiful, man. You better know it. Los Angeles Aboriginal said, man, I got to look into it. But in regards to the abominations, looking through the abominations, excuse me, I said abominations, which is what it is, okay. But I got to look into it. But in regards to the abominations, looking through trucks and homes, trying to see what's up with the melanation. There you go. This melanated doctor said, get this paint. Oh, man, is there more to that? This melanated, okay, I hate I butchered that. Okay, this melanated doctor said, get this paint. All right. Oh, yeah. Got you. Hey, man, I'm over there. All right, man. I'm actually in a good space. But yeah, the copper, yeah. Did you put it in there? All right, you got it in there too. All right, you're going to say this is the paint you need to stop RF frequencies from bouncing off walls, reflection, which allows you to be detected exactly where you are in a house and listen to and record convo. Get this paint, and the paint is composite copper technology, CPP, ablative anti-fouling paint. And I got it in my damn thing on my home page. I said, okay, yeah, we got to put this paint on the house. And I'm like, I think I asked my wife, like, how many coats you think we're gonna need? But I did check that out. I don't think you need but one coat. I think that's how it go, you know. But I'm glad you put that in there, because should have had that information. I'm just talking, but I love the fact that if I talk, someone knows something about what I said. Appreciate you for that, Los Angeles Aboriginal, man. Just had a thought, man. Where James at? Did James come in today? All right, I don't see James. Hope you all right, man. It's the same for C1, man. Out and Al, man. Al, hopefully you all right as well, man. All three of you guys. But hey, man, appreciate you dropping that one right there, though. Los Angeles Aboriginal always stepping up to the plate, man. That's what brothers do. Their refrigerator shit is crazy. Okay, so yeah, you're going to say Los Angeles Aboriginal goes on to say, man, my great uncle's buddies bumping through the house was the best and forever good memories felt in the heart. Come on, man. Do y'all recall? Well, I don't know, man. So, because I'm like I said, man, it was growing up. It's sort of changed. You know what I mean? It evolved. Growing up in our household, man. I tell you, man, the weekends were some of the best times, man. And although we couldn't party with the adults, we heard the music, man. You know, we heard the laughter. We didn't hear no shit. Wasn't no fighting. Wasn't none of that shit. But we heard the joy, man. You know what I mean? Just the acceptance and love of everybody in the house, man. Hey, they could be at my mama's house, it could be at my grandmama's house, it could be at my auntie's house, it could be at my uncle's house, it could be at our cousin's house. It was always the same. You know what I mean? The music stood out the most, man. You know, the laughter, you know, the conversation, you know, the dean from all, just all the noises, man. Just bring back memories, man. You know, I think this is why I love the music I play the way I do. You know, good memories. I smile, man. That's it. Sometimes depending on what the memory, the thought is that comes back up, I get, you know, I get emotional. Shit, I get teary eyed thinking about that, man, and some of the people, man, who are no longer here. But I remember because the things they did that brought smiles to my face, joy to me. But music, man, being one of those things, man, you know, just something I won't forget, man. So I love music. When we have gatherings at our homes, I'll be wanting to, just turn them on to this music, man, because this music is there's messages in our music from back then, you know. Even back then, they were trying to stop them from putting messages in the music, you know. Nowadays, there's nothing in the music. Even the beat and the frequency is off, man. It's a disruptive, vibe, man. So I, a lot of shit I won't forget, man. Take to my grave with me, man. I'm proud to have certain memories, man. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, you know. So yeah, Los Angeles Aboriginal, I hear you loud and clear, man. Queen and Zinga say power is in the people, y'all. Again, you don't give power to the people. You're gonna give something to someone that they already have. You know what I mean? In that sense. We already possess the power. We just don't know how to use it yet. It's ours. It's in us. It ain't on us. It's in us. The melanin, they see that. But underneath that, man, there's a whole lot of other stuff, man, that this shit is right, man. Outside is good too. It's armor. But the power's in us, man. You can't give us what we already possess. You could distract us. You can keep us distracted, create all these diversions and stuff, so we can't focus on the focus. But hey, the power in us, it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. We're gonna wake up as a result of, And these people know, man, don't do nothing to get them people started, because that's gonna be the trigger. I smile when I think about that, man. Shit gonna go down. It's gonna be all right though. Love that music, man. Put my music on, you know. Put my music on, man. Think about some people, man. All right, Lisa Moore said B1 Black First, man. B60M said, man, it was the vibe, man. Good thing, man, they made recordings, man. Good thing they didn't destroy that, man. Back in the day, them people, they used to burn books because they didn't like what was in them. Original manuscripts and shit. Good thing they didn't do that to our music, man. Wow. Man. Well, even if they did, the music is in us too, man. So shit. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. B60 said it was the vibe, being with the loved ones. Truth to power, home. Truth to power, man. I just know what I know as an individual, man, as a man. And what I know, man, is that, man, in spite of everything, man, yeah, first and foremost, we don't like this, but it's something about our lives that's special, man. In a lot of times we can't appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? Because we're living lives, man, that are hard. We struggle. But hey, man, there's something special about our lives, man, that should make us proud, should give us a lot more dignity than what we, exhibit, or what we present of ourselves, to people outside. That's real. Ain't nothing like us, man. Ain't nobody like us. You got, again, they want to be us. You have a whole, you have Europeans wanting to be us. You have other, ethnic groups, ethnicities wanting to be us. Hate us to death, but they want to be us. If that don't tell us something, man, nothing else will. We supposed to smile every time we see them, you know, because and not in a malicious way, but still, you see them, they let you poor little tink tink. You'll never be this, it just should be the joy. The fact of the matter is, just should be the joy should be all about knowing you got something going on nobody else can have, man. You know, and money don't even trump it. Money don't trump it. So hey, man, we good. Shit, we good. B60M said, man, one of them advertising slogans is "Crunch all you want." One of them advertising slogans is "Crunch all you want to. We'll make more." Yeah, B60M, you ain't lying. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Come on, man. Y'all. Yeah, man, we could find all kind of reasons, man, to be upset, man, by all kind of shit. And I think, man, that's part of the plan of the scheme, man. To drain or sap our energy, man, in terms of anger and hate, shit like that. But man, we got so much shit to be, just grateful of, man. I'm telling you, man, in such a way, man, other people despise us, for, just being who we are, surviving what we have. People despise that, man. And for a lot of us, we don't recognize, again, man, yeah, we go through some shit. We are the ones on the face of earth who struggle, or who struggle now, in the now, more than anyone, but here we are. Fuck. And again, I could lay in bed. I'd be like, man, how the hell is any of this possible? And that'd be on two levels, on different planes. How is it that we made it, and we still striving to strive? You know what I mean? We're thriving to strive. How? And then not just how have we get, but man, how is it that people can hate us so, man? For what reason? Well, I look at a lot of shit laying in bed, like, all right, man, what the fuck? What really is this? What's going on? Why is it us? you know, why ain't nobody else? And the thought hit me. Ain't nobody else handle this shit. This wasn't meant for nobody else. This, man, this shit is, it's what they say, man. It's been preordained. It's providence. This is something, man, that was written a long time ago, man. It was written because it was necessary. We're in this, man, and not at the hand of them people who got us going through shit, man. This is some more shit. But again, I can't help but every now and then ask, why us? And then again, it hits me, because can't nobody else deal with this shit, man. This wasn't for nobody else to handle or deal with. No one else could have done it. So whatever power that is, whatever cosmic force, got us good, it knows why. It got to be something in store, or the blessing will be, we living it now. You never know. You know what I mean? And this is why we say also, man, every blessing, man, needs to be counted. And I use that, man, for those who, conform to that, But for every time that I'm fortunate to be in a position of being fortunate, I have to recognize it. I have to take that into account, man, and appreciate it. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm suggesting we do. Recognize these blessings, man. Don't nobody else get this, man. Don't nobody else get this, man, to get to be, the one, man, that's scrutinized the most the one that's most oppressed, suppressed, the one that's condemned, the persecuted, whatever, and still be here. It's a reason for this shit. It's a reason for this shit, I can't put my finger on it, but I know enough to know, man, that something is in the fact, man, that I can't comprehend. I just know I'm here, man, and my people are here, man, and we gonna be here, man. And when it's all said and done, we be the right ones, man. We be the right ones who will be where they're supposed to be. It ain't this, I don't know what it's about, but it's happening. Recognize, man, that shit, man. A lot of people call it a curse, but I tend to think, man, we're in a better position than a whole lot of people, man. We are. And a lot of us would see that if we extract or take from the equation what has been put in our heads in terms of things, wealth, shit, shit that they like, or the things that make them feel whole, like people. We're human beings, man. We are human beings, man. This shit don't really mean shit to us. We come from that way before they understood it. I don't know. You just gotta, man, accept, man, that we are the people. We are the ones, man. So find joy in the fact that you're a black person. It ain't hard to find the joy, man. It ain't hard to find joy and happiness in the fact that you're black. It's a whole lot, man, that can bring smiles to your face about being black. Indulge in that, man, every day. Every day. But since today is Friday, man, go on and get it in, man. Appreciate that you're black, man. Enjoy yourself, man. Get some of them good vibes in your head, in your heart. Take advantage, man, of these blessings, man. A lot of people, man, want to be what we are, want to be us. They won't admit it. But just watch them, look at them. Brother man said imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It's like they know some shit we don't know. They want to be happy, man. They want to be us. And they see something in us we don't see in ourselves. We got to start paying closer attention, all right? Still smiling and thriving, man. Tell the truth. Dignity over doubt. Don't hesitate to heal. Everybody wants to be us, but not able to take a step in our shoes, man. Them big shoes, heavy. Hey, man, on that note, man, ain't but love, man. Peace and blessings to the people, all right? Love yourself, man. Love yourself. That ought to be worth a smile right there, man. One, embrace himself, love himself, man. Come on, man. That's worth tears sometime, man, when you really get it. When you really get it, But love yourself, man, so that you can love the other brother and sister, man, that needs that love, that need to know what love is, man, so that they can start loving themselves and spreading it. All right? Take care of yourself so that you could take care of others, man, who may not know they need support, need taken care of, man. Just look out for each other. Look out for yourselves. Look out for each other, man. And know that your wealth, man, is your health. Your wealth, man, is your people. The love you have for self and people, man, that's our wealth. Power is in the people, man. All love, all respect. All right, peace to the chat. Be one, black first. Let's get it in, man. Be vigilant, be aware, have fun, enjoy life. You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove. Power is in the people, y'all. And listen to this outro.
Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurston, writing future history. From the Apollo to the Burrow to the Sphere. where the echo of those Harlem nights still ringing clear. So when they ask what happened in those tenement flats, between the spirituals and where consciousness is at, tell them we transform suffering to scholarship and song. Tell them we've been telling you we're brilliant all along. The Renaissance will prologue every decade since the sequel. Every black child born's continuation of the people who survived the Middle Passage, survived the Jim Crow laws, and built magnificence from nothing but their vision and their flaws. That's in the sergeant. This is once a less than half this hats and Mercedes. Please don't you, I can't stop us. Power sensitive watch of the applause for pose. Need your data tropes and constant any problem when the wet just wanna build the season bait. Now don't get the pause. It's just erasing up the times. Plead the markets off the main. Make it honor fans. Turn the neck and love the durn. Suffer like a kesha. You were grown to preaching up on side as each alone. Bitch on the shit and untrue seeing vets. Someone the very inch on Gary Land. Be hell in heaven, you see what the bound of it. If wait, talking for the mark, rate to keep him for the club and saw the boards to the single land is carried open slowly. Keep us looking on my mother, break your channel, resi more than he and let the peasant be. It's every time we keep a spawn.